Well, from pets to fruit cocktail, Del Monte is involved in them all. It's one of the country's biggest producers of pet products and branded food, but Del Monte's not immune to the recession. Anyone who sells to the consumer has some exposure there. It did just trim back its sales growth target range. Del Monte CEO Richard Wolfson joins me now live here in studio. Thank you for coming in today, particularly on a day when we got retail sales figures. This is an important conversation to be having. We did see retail sales have a pullback for a second straight month here. Grocery stores did see a pullback in sales as well. How promotional are the retailers who sell your products asking you to be?
Well, our customers actually are not asking us to be more promotional than our own company programs would dictate. And so what you are seeing, though, is the industry broadly doing more promotion, reflecting the consumer's focus on value, and our retailers are not unhappy to see that degree of promotional activity.
Now, you just lowered the sales outlook to 2 to 4% from 3 to 4% for fiscal 2011 here. You're spending more on marketing as well to try to get more of that consumer dollar. Give me a sense of where the consumer is and where the retailers are.
Well, actually, what happened with our lowering of our top line forecast, it's not really a reduction in what we see in terms of volume. It's really moving marketing dollars up to promotional dollars, which actually has a result of reducing your top line. The reason we're doing that is to be responsive to a competitive environment, particularly in the pet business, where we see a lot of aggressive competition from other brands in our category.
Now, your stock has been it has been on a move tremendously to the upside. You did just decide a few weeks ago to repurchase $100 million of stock. You also raised your dividend as well. There are a lot of questions right now going into 2011 and a rising tax rate environment about the worth of that to shareholders. Are you questioning how you might put more money back in the hands of your shareholders in that rising tax rate?
Well, what we've seen from a company standpoint is tremendous performance last year. We had record profits. Our EPS on an adjusted basis was up 75%. And so we deleveraged the company. So we're really in a different place. And being able to fund returning cash and value to shareholders was very important for us. And I think in the coming economy, you're going to see more and more consumers or more investors looking for stocks where they'll be able to look at a dividend yield as well as a potential equity appreciation.
Despite the personal taxes on those gains going up.
There's going to be taxes are going to increase across the board, and I think
so. It's not affecting your consideration.
No, I think what will end up happening is I think you'll see people interested in equities having a yield as opposed to just the capital appreciation. And that will be, I think, a hedge on the uncertainty that people see in the stock market today.
Now, I mean, you've studied economics. You're well attuned to what's happening out there with the engine of economic growth in this country, the consumer itself. But economists have been really focused on this question of inflation versus deflation.
Right.
Food's one of the places, food commodities, where we are seeing prices climbing right now.
Well, you're seeing prices climb from a very low level, and that's only in selected areas. And it tends to be in some of the commodity areas where we're seeing a little bit more inflationary pressure in the current year than we did in the past year. Generally, though, the price environment for most people in our industry is a relatively flat one in terms of pricing with consumer packaged foods companies.
Quickly, where do you see the most growth right now?
We see an awful lot of growth in our pet business. Despite the economy, people always feel very special about their pets. I think something like 90% of Americans look at their pet as having much more interest in their coming home at night, being much more excited about their coming home than their significant other.
They treat them like children.
They treat them better than their children. The survey will actually show that they are more willing to cut back on their children than they are their pets in a tough time.
Well, that's an interesting note to leave things on, but thank you very much.
Pleasure talking with you.
Del Monte CEO for coming in and talking about the consumer, the economy, and the company.